The year is 1871 and Prussia has just defeated France. A German military band conductor, Johann Piefke, is working busily to produce a march worthy of such a victory. After completing his work, Piefke conducted the march for the victorious troops in his regiment. Now, this historical info is all cool and everything, but how does the march actually work? What are the underlying mechanics behind it? And why did it become so well known even to this day? Allow me to explain. We begin in D-flat major with a simple melody. Depending on whether you see this as 4/4 or 2/4, it could be 4 bars or 8 bars long, but I will be using 2/4 for this analysis. These 8 bars of this first melody can be split in half. The first 4 are in the home chord, with the next 3 jumping to the 5 chord. This creates some excitement, which gives ample opportunity for the melody to fall down from the third to the tonic, resolving this figure. The first 4 bars are then repeated again, with the next 4 being nearly identical to the last resolution, just with a few melodic tweaks. One of the things that anyone who listens to this song will notice is that nothing is left unrepeated. Almost every 8 bars, the last 8 bars are repeated, then a new idea is introduced and built upon, then repeated the same. This was normal in marches from those times. After the first idea is repeated, a second idea is introduced. This one is much simpler than the last. It involves frequently switching between the 1 and 5 chords, once again creating that feeling of excitement. But this time the melody is simplified, allowing it to follow the harmonic rhythm exactly. Once those 8 bars are done, the second half of the last idea is brought in like so. After a glorious repeat of that, a key change lifts up the song up to G-flat major. Then a neat little triplet figure pipes in, almost saying, the song has only just begun. From there, the listener is graced with a simple but eloquent melody that follows this chord progression. Notice the use of the major third chord. It helps elevate the mood of the piece and makes it sound more victorious. And also notice how this part of the piece ends with a 5 chord, which the next section will take full advantage of. Because the 5 chord is prolonged throughout the next part with a melody centered heavily on said chord, it is very suspenseful. To add to this feeling, the snare drum is rolling behind it all. This then explodes into the climax of the piece, as everything comes together to back up a rigid but beautiful melody. The transitions between the 1 and 5 chord are used here as a throwback to the start of the piece. And finally, the build-up is repeated once more, allowing for this climactic melody to come back and end the piece. How marvelous! How victorious! After the piece's composition, it fell into obscurity, but only a few years before the First World War, it was discovered and performed frequently. After the Nazis' rise to power, Hitler was quick to use the song as a propaganda tool to support his regime. Once the Third Reich fell and the country was split, the legality of the song was allowed in West Germany, but banned in East Germany under Soviet control. But now that Germany is reunited, the march is once again used proudly throughout the nation's military. It was and is a symbol of unity for Germany, at least in my eyes. This celebratory song perfectly represents the victory the Prussians gained after defeating the French, and because of its excellent melodies, it is no wonder that this march has persisted since the 1800s, through the world wars, and up to now.